After watching the Krai Prelude trailer, you just know the future characters and storylines are going to be wild. I'm seriously hoping the Four Shades become playable characters too. And after seeing Ronova in that trailer, I really want her to be playable. Anyone else feeling the same? I know it's very unlikely, but not impossible either. But we do have some major characters coming in Krai. So let's take a look at who's worth pulling in the 5.8 update, or whether it's better to save your primo gems. In case you missed it, version 5.8 features Ineffa, Chasca, Mualani, and Citlali. Basically the entire natlan crew who haven't had reruns yet. First up is Ineffa. She's new, and yeah, I get it, most people aren't super hyped about her. She's not a well-known character, and her kit doesn't scream must pull at first glance. So skipping her sounds logical if you're not into Electro DPS teams. But she's actually a dedicated support for a future Electro DPS coming in early 6.0, so if you plan on getting him, you'll want Ineffa too. She can also make Clorinde and Raiden Shogun shine in the Abyss again. She deals off-field damage, gives you a shield, and scales with attack. She works best in Electro Charge teams and introduces a new mechanic called Lunar Charge. Lunar Charge is special because it can crit, an actual reaction that crits. The crit rate depends on your team's elemental mastery and crit stats involved in triggering it. Plus she buffs her teammates' EM, elemental mastery. When enemies are affected by both Hydro and Electro, a thundercloud appears and targets only those affected enemies. The damage scales based on the crit and EM stats of whoever triggers the reaction. That's a fresh take on reactions and makes her a strong pick for electro-charged comps. That said, if you're not interested in Electro teams or not planning to pull for the Electro DPS in 6.0, she's an easy skip. And according to early info, 6.0 characters may not be as powerful as you'd hope. Next, we've got Citlali, and honestly, don't skip her. Not just because she's a fan favorite, but because she's an amazing support for Pyro and Hydro characters. She gives shields, applies cryo, and her shield scales with elemental mastery. Whenever you trigger freeze or melt, she reduces enemy Hydro and Pyro resistance, making her perfect for teams with Mavuika, Arlecchino, and even Neuvillette. Her synergy with Pyro DPS units is just too good. Even basic gameplay hits differently when she's on your team. She's also a future-proof pick, especially with characters like Alice, Doran, and that upcoming Pyro support, rumored to be similar to Escoffier, expected in Krai. Plus, Columbina is Hydro, and if she's anything like Farina, pairing her with Citlali could be crazy good. Her resistance shred supports all these characters' damage potential. Even if they're locked into different reactions, you can easily pair Citlali with Neuvillette, Arlecchino, Mavuika, or Skirk. The current meta is shifting fast. Every new DPS seems to come with a tailor-made support, which sucks for free-to-play players because pulling 2 characters per update isn't realistic. That's why grabbing flexible support like Citlali can save you a ton of headaches going into Krai. Then we have Chasca, an Anemo DPS. She's arguably the most fun character in the game. Just toss in 2 different elements and float around enemies while dealing high damage. Her playstyle is fluid, and she works well in freeze and melt comps. Best teammates? Farina, Citlali, and Mavuika. And now that Ineffa's in the picture, Chasca gets a new potential boost with Lunar Charge comps. Last on the list is Mualani, a Hydra DPS who can really hit hard. She was a top-tier DPS when she first dropped, but got overshadowed by reruns of Neuvillette, Mavuika, and Arlecchino. Because of that, many players skipped her banner. But don't sleep on her. She hits fewer times per rotation, but each hit slaps. That makes her one of the fastest clear DPS units. Best supports: Mavuika, Xiangling, Citlali, and even pyrotraveler. And if you don't have Farina, you can run her with Skirk in a quick swap DPS style. Her strongest reaction is Vaporize, so she'll benefit from future pyro supports too. Her playstyle is simple. As long as you land your hits, she's a solid DPS. She's actually comparable to Neuvillette in terms of raw damage. So, who should you pull for? Let's break it down. Top pick, Citlali. No question. She supports most Pyro and Hydro characters and pairs well with future units like Columbina, Alice, and Durin. Second pick, Mualani. Slightly edged out Chasca due to better F-to-play weapon options and potential comeback with Columbina. Third pick, Chasca. Great DPS, but might get replaced by upcoming animo characters like Varka. Last, Ineffa. Has interesting mechanics and future synergy, but it's a gamble, especially if 6.0's Electro DPS isn't strong. As for 4-star characters, we're getting Fischl and Xingqiu, both top-tier 4-stars for reaction teams. If you don't have them built yet, now's a good time to grab them. They work in tons of team comps. We don't have much info on the remaining 4-stars yet. Let me know who you're pulling for, or if you're skipping and saving for future banners. Sayonara!